But another thing I wanted to look at is the Liver King apology video. What the? A platypus? Is that a thing? Liver King broke our hearts. Oh. What did this... Why did that show up when I typed in Liver King? Anyway, the Liver King confession, I lied. Okay, so Liver King, if you don't know, was kind of like thrust in the spotlight, I'd say maybe earlier this year. I can't remember exactly, but he went viral for like eating raw meats like bull testicles and liver and bone marrow, right? And then claiming the, or like making a claim to the primal lifestyle of just living like our ancestors, you know, not cooking his food. He doesn't sleep on a bed. He doesn't like shower, clean himself or anything like that. And he like pushed his line of ancestral like supplements and like a workout routine that would make you look like him. And just that, right? Just take my ancestral supplements, right? Do this workout routine and you'll look like me. And it recently came to light with this leaked email that he was talking to like a coach or something about how much steroids he was taking.
Primals, I'm making this video.
What the? Is that coming in through the left side for you guys too? I can only hear that in my left headphone.
To apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous. And I never expected this kind of exposure.
Exposure or not, really, a lot of what people are angry about him for isn't that he used steroids. It's just that he pushed the idea of you can look like what he looks like and be what he is without them, right? So he was basically like lying about how he got his physique and how like strong he is.
Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets, so our people no longer have to suffer, so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. This is why I exist.
So right here, he makes like a claim that he did what he did, like he got in his line of work and started selling people his lifestyle because of like the suicide rate of young men and just how, I guess, unhealthy and unwell younger men or people in general are. And again, that's not like what people are questioning. They're not really questioning his motives. They're just, this feels a little bit like, I guess, trying to pull at your heartstrings when this kind of stuff was never in question anyway. I guess to maybe sort of lessen the fall of like how badly his, you know, released email about taking steroids would be. But again, nobody was mad at him for like trying to reach out to young depressed men or whatever to sell them a healthier lifestyle to make them healthier physically and mentally, you know.
While spreading the message, I've been on several podcasts, and when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I've always said no, I don't touch this stuff, not gonna touch this stuff, never touch the stuff. That was a lie. I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with the ancestral message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind, so who the fuck am I cheating? I convinced myself that this topic was a placeholder for a far more important conversation. I convinced myself that this would overshadow the 36 years of working out, usually twice a day, without PEDs.
And that's that I can understand that, you know. I think he had like a good amount of brand deals and stuff. And obviously, if he came out with that he took steroids, he'd probably lose a lot of those because he's, again, like lying about his lifestyle. And convincing yourself, that something is one way when it really isn't. That happens. I get that. Especially if you're put in a tough position like that when you do have deals and the portrayal of yourself publicly is what you push out, and that's what sales and like revenue and business is reliant upon. I can understand how that could be a tough position to be in and have to lie about that, but then you're also convincing yourself that that lie is a truth,
Myself that this was the vocal minority, usually in the fitness category, driving to an unproductive conversation. And I had convinced myself that this would be the wrong message to send to the 15-year-old boys. So I continually dismissed it, and I dug myself into a bigger and deeper hole. I have only myself to blame. I did that, and it was all wrong. I will be better. I will talk about it openly, because I believe that there's a time and a place for pharmacological intervention monitored and managed by a trained hormone physician.
And this is where you get, at least I, give him some props and respect for just like, he just owns up to it, right? It's not some crying, bringing your dog on camera. I've tried to record this like 3 times apology video. He's just straight up, yep, I did it. I'm ashamed of myself. This is why I did it. It doesn't excuse I did it, but, I get that. And now going forward, he's going to be more open about it. Well, at least I hope he holds true to that. But if he does hold true to that, he'll be more open about it. And like he is Jack, and you don't, at least, I'm no professional on like working out and like diets and stuff like that. But if you want a good body, you don't have to take steroids. Is it going to take longer? Yes. And I think that's mostly where that comes from is the time it takes to get that,
In 2021, when I was 43 years old, I didn't feel 100% physically or cognitively. So I went to get monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician to see what the fuck was going on with my life. And so yes, it's true. I have tried several peptide combinations in an effort to increase my growth hormone, and it didn't work, meaning that my levels still remained below the normal level. So yes, it's also true that I've tried pharmaceutical grade growth hormone, and I finally found success in managing therapeutic levels in the normal range. Yes, this is true. I've continued on with 0.6 cc's of testosterone per week, roughly 120 milligrams of testosterone a week.
Now, I don't know the specs of like 0.6 cc's and all that stuff, but I don't know if he means growth by just like his body in general, just like muscles and stuff, or like height. But I have heard of like hitting a wall physically where you can't really get bigger, but you can kind of get stronger. And for some people, I get maybe people who like have body dysmorphia to maybe more extreme levels can really just be like, I want to see more, I want more, and they really want to push that to its limit, and they do what they got to do that.
And no, I don't take any other steroids like Nandrolone or Winstrol, but I have tried them in the past without success.
It sounds like he's naming off Harry Potter like spells. I have no idea what any of that's about.
I previously have said in a weird way, I'm grateful for the recent events that have shed light on this complicated as fuck topic. I knew I needed to take this opportunity to openly discuss everything.
So it's kind of like he was looking to get caught, I guess. And to be clear, in the email, I don't like have a PDF of it, but if you watch Charlie's video or Danny Gonzalez's video, they show it where he committed to it for sure. Like he did eat like raw meats. He did, live like in a primal way. So the lifestyle he he was selling to people wasn't necessarily fake, I don't think. It's just there was more to it than what he was selling to people.
And all I can do is take extreme ownership right now, be better, and lead myself to a better life as a better human. Again, thank you to everyone for the support, the criticism, the love, the hate, and above all else, the loyalty. Okay.
And again, it wasn't like calling into judgment his character or like him being a piece of shit person. It's just he took steroids on that lifestyle that wasn't necessarily true.